we use second conditional to talk about unreal future situations. Now I'm going to stress. Welcome to Pronunciation with Emma. I'm going to stress this future part here, okay? This will be important in a little while. Unreal future situations with a very slight chance of happening or no chance at all, okay? So it tends to be for situations which are also imaginary and impossible. I should write this down as well. So also imaginary, let's put this here, imaginary and impossible situations, okay? I'll give you some examples of what I mean later, because sometimes you have a slight chance, like a little bit of an opportunity, sometimes no chance at all, okay? And then sometimes they're completely impossible, okay? I guess this goes back to the no chance at all, but you'll see what I mean in a moment and why I've distinguished the two. So let's first have a look at the structure. We've got, if I won the lottery, I would buy a now house, I would buy a new house. So we've got super simple. If, subject, I, and then you've got the past simple. If I won the lottery. Now, this is where some students get confused because they start to think, but hold on, Emma, you said it was a future, but we're using a past simple. What's going on? Okay, it has nothing to do with the past. It is just the structure we use, but we're still talking about the future. Okay, so if I won the lottery, I, subject, would. Okay, don't pronounce the L, not would. Would. It's pronounced exactly the same as the word would. Okay, would. Base verb, buy. So we don't say, I would to buy, which I hear some students say, and they use the infinitive. But we don't use the infinitive, we use what's called the base verb, which is essentially the verb, but without to, okay? I would buy a new house. Super simple. So if you want it even simpler than that, we can say it's past simple plus would. Okay, past simple plus would. So just to talk about what's the difference between an infinitive and a base verb super quick, because I know some people don't know the difference and they get a bit confused. Basically, the infinitive is with to, for example, to eat. So in this case, if I use the infinitive, it would be I would to buy a new house, but this isn't correct. I'm not throwing any shade at any teachers, but I do see some of them say, you should use subject plus would plus infinitive. No, that's not right. Really, you should use what's called the base verb. Some people call it the bare infinitive. Some people just call it the infinitive without to. Okay, depends on the teacher. I call it base verb. So the base verb is without to. I would buy. Now, you can also change the order of the sentence. You just remove the comma. So if you look here, you've got if, and then you've got your would, okay? Your if part here, and then your would part here. And I can change that order, and I can start with the would part. I would buy a house if I won the lottery. So in this case, I don't put the comma. I can change the order, and it means exactly the same. The only difference is it's very small, but the only difference is that you're just moving the emphasis, okay, moving the stress. What's most important? In this case, I will buy a house is more important. But in this case, if I won the lottery is more important. But really, it's such a tiny difference. Now, with would, with this modal would, you can change it to could, should, or might. Okay, it's possible. So I could say, if I had more free time, I could join the gym. Yeah? In this case, you're saying, I have the possibility. Yeah? I have the ability to do it, even. but I might not necessarily do it. Okay? So you can change that could with should, or you can change the would with could, should, or might. How are we doing in the comments so far? Let's see. People are from everywhere, from Mexico City, Brazil. Hello and welcome. I remember this conditional with the song, if I were rich, I would buy la la la. I don't know what song that is, Eleanor. Please tell me. If I had $1 million, I would travel around the world. Fantastic. Actually, hold that thought, Ben. We're going to get to that in the practice. So now you know the theory, you know the structure of everything. We're going to do this together. And we're going to have a practice. So in the comments, I'd like you to give your answer in full to these 3 questions. So hopefully you can see me. I might have to, there we go, add a little bit of space. So question number 1, if I gave you £1 million right now, just in your bank account, if I gave you £1 million right now, what would you spend it on? What would you spend it on? Tell me in the comments, what would you spend it on? I'll give you an example. So to answer in full, I could say, if Emma, this is strange because I'm Emma, if I gave myself £1 million, if Emma gave me £1 million right now, I would donate half of it to charity and spend the rest on a holiday. Okay, so if Emma gave me £1 million right now, I would donate half of it to charity and spend the rest on a holiday. For example, this isn't what I would actually do, but it's just as an example so you can see the structure. So you've got the subject, I would, and then the base verb, I would donate half of it to charity and spend the rest of it on holiday. Dunia says, if I had £1 million, I would make my dreams come true. Ah, so nice. What would your dream be? I would build a woody house. Now, we wouldn't say woody house, we'd say wooden house in the forest. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. You could build a tree house. So someone's written, probably I would go to jail. But we would say, I would probably go to jail. I would probably go to jail. I would travel around the world, says Juan. If you gave me £1 million, I would travel. You've written travel with double L. It's just one L. Travel to NYC. How nice. What would you do there? I think you could easily spend £1 million in New York because it's so expensive. Arthur says, if Emma gave me £1 million right now, I would spend it with my family in Paris. Very nice. Again, you could probably very easily spend £1 million in Paris. I would buy a new car, says Hussein. I would travel the world, says Adriana. If I had £1 million right now, I would buy a house, says Ali. If I had more free time, or I'm likely to donate. Sorry, I'm mixing 2 comments there. The comments are moving quickly. If I had more free time, I would do my hobbies. Very good, Dunia. Can I say I might donate, or I'm likely to donate? So let's have a look. I might donate half of it and spend the rest on a holiday. Completely possible. Yeah, I might, maybe, I don't know. Okay, it's a possibility. And the other one, I'm likely to donate. No, if Emma gave me £1 million right now, I would be likely to donate half of it to charity. You would still need the would. I would be, so you would use I am likely to, be likely to. You would stick with that structure. I would be likely to donate half of it to charity. Good question, Hugo. If Emma gave me £1 million, I would help homeless people. Same. Yeah, I'd do something to help homeless people. If I were an animal, we haven't got to that one yet. I'm not going to read that one. If I had £1 million right now, I'd travel to the UK. Fantastic. Good. Yeah, people have got some really fantastic examples. Let's have a look at number 2. What would you do if you had more free time? What would you do if you had more free time? I would, so I can change my answer around as well. So you see here I started with the if, and then the second part I had the would. I can do exactly the same with my answer. I would travel more if I had more free time. That's a possibility. Or if I had more free time, I would travel more. That's it. What do we think about traveling? Well, not traveling, free time. Maybe you wouldn't travel. Maybe you'd just stay home. If I had more free time, I'd sleep. That would be my real answer. Let's see. So people are still answering the £1 million one. Good. If you gave me £1 million right now, I would try to help many people as possible. I would say I would try to help as many people as possible. As many people as possible. If I had more free time, I could do all of my hobbies. Good. I could. I would have the possibility. Yeah. But it's not necessarily something I would do. I could. I would visit the Mother Nature. I wouldn't say the Mother Nature. I would visit Mother Nature. I would visit Mother Nature every day. Now you've written every day as the adjective and you've put it together. Okay? You need to split it. Every day. I would visit Mother Nature every day. Now be careful with this because we also have an expression in English where we say like Mother Nature's calling. And things like that, and it means that you need to go to the bathroom. I would study another career. That's interesting, Arthur. I'm gonna guess that you are maybe a Spanish speaker. This is a really, really common mistake, confusing carrera and career and degree, okay? Because in Spanish you would say carrera, sorry for the non-Spanish speakers, but I know quite a few of you are Spanish speakers. And you guys confuse degree and career. Career is your job. It's the line of work that you go into and you normally progress in your career and you take it very seriously, while your degree is something you study at university. So I would study another degree if I had more free time. Let's see. So many comments. If I had more free time, I could learn other languages. Fantastic. If I have more free time, look at the structure. Let's go back. Not if I have, if I had, past simple. If I had, even though it's the past simple, we're still talking about the future. Don't confuse it, okay? Don't think that just because it's written in the past that we're talking about the past. That's not the case. So if I had more free time, I will study. No, I would study. I would study in the USA. You need the article there. If I had more free time, I would stay at home and learn Miss Emma's video. Maybe not I would learn Miss Emma's video, but I would learn from Emma's video. And no need to call me Miss. Just Emma's fine. I feel old if you call me Miss. If I had more free time, I would travel a lot. Fantastic. If I had more free time, I would read more. I would visit my sister in her town if I had more time. Fantastic. So now you're moving it the other way around. Really good. If I had more free time, I would spend it traveling. If I had more free time, I could play Dota 2 game with my friends. I would say I would play Dota 2 with my friends. You don't need to specify Dota 2 game. You know, we don't normally do that in English. We just say, I'm going to play The Sims. I'm going to play Tekken. I'm going to play whatever. You don't need to say, I'm going to play The Sims game. I'm going to play the Tekken game. We just say the title of the game. Good, fantastic. So many comments. I can't even begin to answer them all, but fantastic. I can see all the examples. And so far, I don't see any errors. So if I see any errors, I'll correct them, then we can learn together from them. Last one. If you were an animal, which animal would you be and why? If you were an animal, which animal would you be and why? I would be a cat so I could sleep all day if I were an animal. Okay. True is a true answer as well. Let's see, anything else about the other one? Yeah, no mistakes. That's fantastic. So what do we think about the animal one? What animal would you be? Would you be, I don't know, a lion, a lioness? What would you be? Let's see. People asking me to check comments. I've read them. If there are any mistakes, I will mention them, but there are no mistakes. Let's see. Are there situations when you can elude if? You mean you're talking about removing the if? Give me an example. What do you mean? Give me an example. If I were an animal, I would be a lion because they are strong, fast, and have guts. Good. So to have guts, of course, every living thing has guts, which is basically your organs, your intestines inside, okay? But if you have guts, you're talking about being brave. Do you have the guts to jump off that cliff? It's like, are you brave enough to have the guts? I would be a butterfly. I could smell as much flowers, as many flowers, because flowers is countable, as many flowers as I could. If I were an animal, I would be a bird so I could fly around the world. That's the nice one. I'd be a hummingbird because it's very gorgeous. Remember, especially Spanish speakers, it is, okay? Don't forget that it is very gorgeous. I would be a bird because I could fly every time I want. I would say anytime I want, and feel more freedom, and feel more free, you could say. If I were an animal, I would be a horse because I think it's a fantastic animal. Yeah, horses are nice, especially wild ones. You could take it a step further and be like a unicorn, or you could kill two birds with one stone and be a Pegasus, fly around, but you're still a horse. Let's see. If I were an animal, I'd be an eagle to fly everywhere with no fear. If I were an animal, I'd be a butterfly. I'd be a bird so I could look after my girlfriend. Oh, that's so nice. If I had the chance to be an animal, I wouldn't accept it. Oh, dun dun dun. If I were an animal, I would be my brother's dog so I could live as a queen. I would say I would live like, so I could live like a queen. Not as a queen, but like a queen. That's a really good one. I like that one. I would be a cat so I could play and eat again every day. You guys need to stop using every day together. Separate it every day. The only time you use every day together is when it's an adjective. So I could talk about an everyday activity. Everyday activity is describing the activity, okay? If you're talking about doing something every day, you need to separate the words. I'd be a dinosaur. Oh, that's a good one. I'd be a dinosaur. We were brave. We could climb. No, you wouldn't be able to use it in that sense. You would need to use the if we were brave. Yeah. I would be a wolf because it is independent if I were an animal. I would be a wolf because it is independent if I were an animal. This sounds a little odd, only because you've got the because it is independent part. I would put the if part first. I wouldn't put it last there. If I were an animal, I would be a bired. I think you mean a bird. I'd be a bird to fly in the sky. Good. I'd be a mosquito to wake up my brother. Let's see. Ooh, someone said if they had a lot of money, they'd buy me an expensive house. Thank you. If I were an animal, I would be a bear. Get that pronunciation? Bear. Bear. So I could eat a lot of honey and I could sleep so much. Fantastic. Anyway, so we're going to finish there. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I will put this document down in the description after the live has ended. So if you want to go back and look at the document, you can. Remember that this will be available for, as far as I'm aware, eternity. So you can watch the replay whenever you like. And that's it. Any questions about the live, let me know. If you're watching the replay, then please write your comments down in the description, because I would still like to know what you would be if you were an animal, and what would you do if you had £1 million, and what would you do if you had more free time. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow for another live lesson. Bye bye, guys.